this series, y'all, I'm getting all of the books. However, I would not be selling my books ever, because they only be giving you like $1 for those books. Absolutely not. Like, them folks crazy. I think Red Rising is actually a banned book, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all let me know if I'm lying in the comments. And I don't know if this is like a series. It better not be, because it was only $2. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. So I'm going to just show you all the books. The books that I actually purchased from Half Price Books. And I actually went 2 different times, because I went to go pick up a book by Ann Petrie called The Street, and then I went to go pick up another book that they had like shipped to the store, because I had ordered like 3 books on Half Price Books. So one ended up coming to my house, which I'm not sure why, because you do pay for delivery. I think it's $3.99 for delivery for each book. So I was like, oh no, y'all not getting $4. That's a whole another book at Half Price Books. So I had the 3 books shipped to the store, but they ended up shipping one to my house for some reason, and then shipped the other 2 to the store. So I ended up going like on 2 separate occasions. One book came on Wednesday, and then the other book came Friday. And I was thinking, man, I should have waited, because North Decatur is like 40 minutes from my job. No, let me take that back. North Decatur is actually like 35 minutes from my house. Like, I live in Atlanta, but it's like an hour from McDonough, that's where I work. So I ended up going from my job each single time. Y'all, it took me like an hour and 15 minutes to get there from my job, because I ended up going like after work. So on like Friday after work, I went, and I was like, no, this traffic is going to be like massive. So I ended up going after work, and I actually left an hour early, because I was over an hour anyway. So I left at 4 o'clock. I didn't even get there, y'all, till like 5:10. It was crazy. The traffic was really crazy. So I know y'all like, what is she doing? I'm like trying to organize my books, so that when I talk to y'all, it doesn't take me long, because I'm putting all the authors that are the same. Well, I'm putting like the books together with the same author, so it's just easier for me to talk about them. And then I'm actually going to throw in here my Goodwill haul, like my Goodwill haul. I went to the Goodwill, so I'm gonna like throw those 2 books in here because it makes no sense to have a whole video for 2 books. Okay, so the first one that I picked up was Chloe Gong's Vilest Things, and now this is the most expensive one that I actually picked up. And the only reason why I picked up this because when I went Wednesday to pick up my book, I didn't record any content then because I was in a rush. I had like a appointment with my psychiatrist at like 5:30, so I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta try to get home before my appointment, because providers, when they do telehealth, they will not talk to you if you're driving because number one, it's just dangerous. So this one was the highest one, and when I saw this one, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this because I do have the first book, and when I saw this one, I was like, oh no, I don't remember if this book, y'all know I'm crazy, y'all. I don't remember if this book was actually hardcover or paperback. I couldn't remember. I don't know. I think it may be all the way at the top because I'm looking for it. I'm like, where is it? I thought it was where all my Chloe Gong books are, but I guess not. Let me see. I guess not. But anyway, so this is the sequel to Immortal Longings. I want to actually read the synopsis, but I feel like if I read the synopsis, it's going to spoil it if you haven't read the first book. So I'm not going to read the synopsis, but just know this is actually the sequel. And long story short, every single time I went on Book Outlet to get this, every single time, y'all, like, you know how they send you like restock emails? It's like it'll get restocked. As soon as I go on there to get the book, it's gone. And then when they was having that Black Friday $5.99 sale, y'all, I was like, oh yes, I can get both of these books. So got ready to check out. They moved it to like my wish list because someone had stolen the one I had in my cart out. So, but I've been trying to get this book, y'all, for forever. I went to Books A Million just to see if they would have it on bargain. Not even on bargain. Still, let me see. It was still, y'all, it's $28 at Books A Million. So I went on Amazon and I was like, oh, and then I just was like, but when I saw it at Half Price Books, I was like, I'm getting this. And this was the only one. And it was literally at the front. So I'm assuming when they put like those books on the cart, that those are like probably newer books that people have like brought back. However, I would not be selling my books ever because they only be giving you like $1 for those books. Absolutely not. Like, them folks crazy. Okay, so and then I have Stone Cold by CJ Box. I think it's 26 books in the Joe Pickett series. So I have this one. I need to actually count and see how many I actually have. So obviously this one was only like $4.49. And then if you know anything about Joe Pickett, if you're new to my channel, you probably don't know I love CJ Box because I love his books. They're kind of like, they're crime thrillers, but they're like crime thrillers with like a country western vibe to it because Joe Pickett is like a game warden and he's always in the midst of like all these murders and then helping like law enforcement solve like all these like murders and things that are happening in like their city. So I picked that one up, and then I picked up Golden Sun. This is actually book 2. This is by Pierce Brown. I have where is it? It's a shame I don't even know the name of the series. And I have Red Rising. So Red Rising is like on here they have on here they have that it's like a trilogy, but I think there are actually like 5 books in the series now. So I guess when they printed this out, they were only marketing like 3 books, but there's definitely like 5 books, I think. So I ended up getting this one because it was only $6. It says, Darrow is a rebel forged by tragedy. For years, he and his fellow Reds worked the mines, toiling to make the surface of Mars inhabitable. They believe, mankind's last hope, until Darrow discovered that it was all a lie. So a lot of people love Red Rising. I think Red Rising is actually a banned book, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all let me know if I'm lying in the comments. Because I don't want to get to lying. Because I know when I went to Books A Million, I didn't buy Red Rising from Books A Million. Definitely not. I got it from Book Outlet. But I know when I went to Books A Million, it was on the banned book section. So I got that. And then I purchased The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. Bookmark by Leah, y'all. She loves Kristen Hanna. She gets me every time when she talks about Kristen Hanna. So I had been looking for this book because a lot of people have actually loved this one. So I ended up getting this one from there. And I know that Kristen Hanna does write a lot of like historical fiction. And that's just what it seems, because like her books are always set in like the 1920s, 1950s, and things like that. So this says Texas 1921, a time of abundance. The Great War is over. The bounty of the land is plentiful, and America's on the brink of a new and optimistic era. But for Elsa Walcott, deemed too old to marry in a time when being a wife is a woman's only option, the future seems bleak, until the night she decides to change the direction of her life and make an impulsive choice that ruins her reputation. So yeah, I can't wait to get into this one. And then we have another book by Stephen King called Under the Dome. And I don't know if this is like a series. It better not be, because it was only $2. So this was like in the clearance section. Y'all, look at this. They had like another paperback version, but I didn't like that one. It wasn't floppy enough. Like the spine was like way too tight. So I just ended up picking up this one. I mean, $2. So let me know in the comments if you've read any books by Stephen King. On a beautiful fall day, the small town of Chester's Mill, Maine, is suddenly and inexplicably sealed off from the rest of the world by an invisible force field. Planes crash into it and rain down flaming wreckage. Cars explode on impact. Families are separated and panic mounts. So this seems like it's going to be very interesting. It's like 900 pages, y'all. Ooh, that makes me feel like I'm reading like Alchemized in paperback form. Okay, so the next one, I had been wanting to get this for a while because I really, really loved the movie and I loved the show. I don't even know if the show is like, it probably doesn't even come on anymore, but I was like watching this heavy when this first came out. So this is The Mortal Instruments, City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I debated for weeks getting this. I was like, I do not need another series. I don't. And I was like, no. So every time I went to Second and Charles last year, I saw it. And y'all know how I was like, I don't want to commit to like reading all of these books in a series. So this, I just was like, no, I don't need it. I don't need it. So I held out until I had that 15% off coupon. So I actually love this cover. This cover had the best pages because all of the pages were like yellowed. And this was like the best one. So I just chose this one. I know in the show there was some romance. So I can't really say, because I've never read the books, I can't really say like this is just epic fantasy. But it is fantasy. It has like some magical realism in it. Because they are like shadow hunters. Y'all, the show is so good. The movie is so good. If you've never seen it, go watch it. So I have been doing like this new thing where I'm really wanting to try to read books that have been like adapted into like shows or movies. So I really want to just compare how different like the movie is or the show is from the book. So it says, when Clary Frey heads out to the Pandemonium Club in New York City, she hardly expects to witness a murder, much less a murder committed by 3 teenagers covered with odd markings. This is Clary's first meeting with the Shadow Hunters, warriors dedicated to ridding the earth of demons and keeping the odd werewolves and vampires in line. So, yes, absolutely love it. So now the last 5 books that I bought, I'm not going to read the synopsis, y'all, because y'all already know. Pretty much when I show you what the books are, you already know, like, they're in a series. So they're criminal legal procedure books, where there's a detective and she's basically solving cases and murders. And she has like this high technology. It's very futuristic because the technology that she uses to solve the case is pretty much outside of the bounds of like the legal system. So y'all already know what it is. It's J.D. Robb's in this series. So I got Desperation in Death. I'm gonna have to, after this video, I have to go up there because it seems like I have this book, but it didn't come up while I was checking my library. It didn't come up, but this is Desperation in Death. And then I have Random in Death, which I thought I had this one too, but I guess not. So majority of them, like I said before, come in like mass paperback. They're just now starting to do like paperback ones, but oh well. So this one is called Sweet 606. So this is also part of the Index series. It just has like a different name. So if you're wondering and you want to get into like some, I really want to say like beginner thrillers, like J.D. Robb's books are really great to get into because they're interconnected standalones. So it's not like, oh my gosh, I gotta read book 1 and then read the whole entire catalog. But I would suggest if you did start the Index series, you read books 1 and 2 in order to get a good understanding of her relationship with her husband and her best friend and the journalist that she pretty much gives the tea, or she gives like first dibs. So if you don't really understand how she met her husband, you pretty much are going to be, I'm not going to say confused about their relationship, but you're not going to know the important role that he plays with helping her solve these cases, basically. So this one is also with Mary Blaney, Ruth Longan, and Mary McComas. So I guess they've like wrote this book together. So as y'all can see, these books are old, y'all, because she's been writing this series since like 1998. And then I have The Unquiet, which is also part of the Index series. I really had to Google these because I was like, are these like a part of the Index series? So they are a part of the Index series. They just have like different names. And then this is Kindred in Death, which I actually read this on my Kindle last year, but of course I need the trophy. So because this series, y'all, I'm getting all of the books. Her newest book, Stolen in Death, just came out. I'm going to wait till it goes on sale. I'm not going to get it because I already know it doesn't come in paperback. It comes in like hardcover. Now, if J.D. Robb sees this video and she wants to send me the book, I would take it, but I already know she's not gonna, she don't be on YouTube like that. She don't be on BookTube like that. But anyway, that is my half price books book haul. Oh, y'all, my bad. Let's rewind. So I did pick up 2 books at the Goodwill. So I picked up John Grisham's The Exchange. And y'all know that John Grisham writes like crime thrillers. So anytime I've read his books are always surrounding like lawyers, the judge, jury. So his books are pretty much like legal, criminal, procedural thrillers. And they're actually really good. They're entertaining. They kind of read to me like if you've ever seen like Alex Cross, The Pelican Brief. Well, you know, he's the writer of The Pelican Brief. But so that's just to get you in the mindset. If you've never read anything that John Grisham has written before, that just kind of gives you an idea of like how his books actually are. They do. So like, and I know a lot of people read like James Patterson. So that's pretty much like how his books are. Like this sticker, y'all, is over the synopsis. So let me see if I can like just pull it up real quick. So it says, what became of Mitch and Abby after the exposed what became of Mitch and Abby after they exposed the crimes of Memphis law firm Bendany, Lambert and Locke and fled the country? The answer is found in The Exchange. This is the riveting sequel to The Firm. I think I have The Firm. So that's that one. The Firm. Y'all remember that movie, The Firm? I just be like, I'm so random, y'all. That has to be my ADHD. Okay, so then I found this book at the Goodwill. It was in pretty good condition. You know, it was okay. It's okay. Like, it's not bad. This is Kristen Hanna. This is called Magic Hour. So I picked this one up because the synopsis seemed really good. As y'all could see, ooh, folks do not be taking care of their books. So this says National Forest. So let's see. Since I bought one Kristen Hanna book, everywhere I go, I've been like finding her books. It says, in the rugged Pacific Northwest lies the Olympic National Forest, nearly 1 million acres of impenetrable darkness and impossible beauty. From within this old-growth forest, a 6-year-old girl appears. Speechless and alone, she offers no clue as to her identity and no hint of her past. So that is called Magic Hour. So I can't wait to read this. It looks really good. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure if you want to see more videos, I'm not saying book hauls, because y'all, when I look, I'm like, okay, this looks like 50 books. But anyway, make sure you like, share, subscribe. And if you have any hypes left, make sure you hype your girl up so other people can actually see my channel. And thank you for coming to support my channel day in and day out. Thank you for all the love and the comments. And if you're not new to my channel, you already know what to do. Put a book emoji in the comments. Until next time, thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.